Good afternoon, it's 3:35 and I'm Lauren Amelia with your headlines from Solent Journalism. COVID-19 continues to cause problems across our region. 56 new cases have been confirmed in Southampton. Meanwhile in Totton, Abbotswood School has closed after a pupil there tested positive. Southampton City Council has received government funding to pay for COVID wardens who will work in the town and district centres, going on patrol to advise people about COVID guidelines. University students are still trying to work out how and when they will be home for Christmas under new government plans designed to let them leave Southampton, hopefully COVID-free. Thomas Lewis joins us live from the outside the testing centre in Southampton Guildhall with an update. Thomas, what more can you tell us?
Hi, thanks Lauren. So the new government guidelines have announced last week to show that there will be a period between the 3rd and the 9th of December where students will be allowed to return home freely. After this, all university teaching will be online. The aim of this is to reduce the amount of people using public transport on what would normally be a busy time over the few weeks in December. Lateral flow devices will be used to test students before they travel home, because these tests only take about an hour to get the results back instead of having to use long lab work. Students who test positive after the 3rd of December will be asked not to return home for Christmas. And if you come into contact with somebody who has tested positive after that time and you test negative yourself, you have been asked to quarantine for 14 days. However, the government has suggested that you can return home to do so, but be aware of the risks to your friends and family. It's not all bad news, however, as multiple vaccines have been discovered over the past few weeks, with the latest coming today by Oxford University, who have shown promising tests when it comes to old people. However, there's still a lot of way to go for these vaccines before they're actually going to be allowed to be used for the public. Despite this, however, Chancellor for Health and Social Care Matt Hancock has remained optimistic, saying that he wouldn't rule out a vaccine by the end of the year.
Thanks, Thomas. Meanwhile, the number of people suffering with so-called long COVID is on the rise in the south and across the UK. In Southampton, a new specialised COVID facility is due to be built to aid sufferers of long-term side effects. Holly Busby has more.
People suffering from long-term COVID symptoms will be offered help from specialist centres across England and including Southampton. It's estimated that around 60,000 people suffer with long-term COVID symptoms that last longer than 3 months. And the symptoms include chronic fatigue, brain fog, anxiety and stress. Doctors are still unsure about what exactly can relieve symptoms, but it's hoped that in the next few months this will be able to be developed in the future. We spoke to a long-term COVID sufferer from Southampton.
So before I got ill in March, and before that I was very high functioning, I'd say. I co-ran my own publishing business and was juggling, like multiple projects at the same time. I was regularly hiking at the weekends and I'd been doing like 5k runs and things like that. And now, since I got ill, I can't do any of that.
Southampton charity, the Rose Road Association and South Western Railways have joined together to make travel more accessible for young disabled people with the launch of their 2-year project, All Aboard. The project aims to increase confidence when travelling for those with additional needs by publishing a set of easy-to-read travel guides and giving workers appropriate training to communicate with those who need it. Southampton is one of the worst cities for pollution, but now shop owners like Claire Diaper are trying to combat this with more sustainable practices. Emily Davis has more.
Southampton is often criticised for its environmental impact, especially now when coronavirus is increasing the use of disposable items. However, there are some shops in the city that put sustainability first. I spoke to the manager of a local bookshop about how her store is so eco-friendly.
So we've got the essentials of energy efficient lighting and that sort of thing, and we're signed up to a cardboard recycling scheme because we have an awful lot of cardboard with all the books that come in, boxes and boxes. think there's probably some very simple things that they could do, and I think possibly a first step is just encouraging staff to maybe eat more vegetarian, eat vegetarian once a week.
Next time you go out shopping, keep in mind that some shops are more sustainable than others. This is Emily Davis for Solent Journalism.
Some charities are, of course, struggling during this worldwide pandemic. However, we spoke with Fair Share, a Southampton-based food bank, who say they are thriving at this time. Christy Garrett, Senior Press and PR Officer, said donations and volunteering more than trebled since the start of COVID. More on this story can be found on our website. Southampton football fans were shocked and surprised to see their football club made it to the top of the league for the first time in 30 years. Coco spoke with the fans to see how they were feeling ahead of the game on Monday against Wolves, and also with ex-manager of the team, Claude Puel.
Hi everyone, I'm Coco from Solent Journalism. Southampton is doing really well in the start of the season. 4th place in the league after 8 games. Southampton reached the first place for the first time after 30 years. We know that Southampton fans are well known to be quite demanding. So we want to know how fans feel, are they happy with it, and what their expectations for the rest of the season.
At the moment, unusually happy. I'm pleased with how our local team are doing. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I've followed the Saints. You know, I'm more of a motorsport man, but really, yeah, local boy, passionate. Yeah.
After the Tottenham game, yeah, definitely no complaints at all. I thought after we lost away on the first game of the season and then lost again to Tottenham, I thought yeah, we were in for a long season, but they've pulled it around, and yeah, at the minute extremely happy. Can score goals, even top of the league for the first time in 30 years for a couple of days. So yeah, very happy.
We also asked Claude Puel, a former manager of Southampton Football Club, what he thought about the performance of the team this season.
It was important to build something, to build a group, confidence, to find a good level for the beginning of the season. I think it's a good way where we see it's possible to continue this work and to perform during all the season. It's my feeling, and it's also my wish for the future. So it's a good beginning, and of course I'm happy to see the Southampton FC at this best for this moment.
This is Coco for Solent Journalism. Back to the studio.
That's all from us for now. You can find all our stories and more online. Head to solentjournalism.co.uk.